Today I'll be making shepherd's pie. To start off, I have 3 large potatoes. So this is for the top of the actual shepherd's pie. I've just put water in just to get it to a boil. And I'll put it in to cook off. The reason why I've done them in cubes, it doesn't really need to be cubes, but I've done them in cubes just so they don't take long to actually cook off and soften, so I can do the actual mash for the top of the shepherd's pie. After about 20 minutes of boiling, I actually tested the potatoes to see if they're soft with a fork. It easily comes off in a fork, so it's ready to be put into a potato ricer or any kind of utensil to mash the potatoes. Now that I've put it through the potato ricer, I add a tablespoon of butter. It is salted butter. Once I've done that, I put a teaspoon of salt only. The only reason why I'm doing that is because it's salted butter as well that's in there. This butter will melt in, so if obviously you want to lessen the butter, it's entirely up to you. The more butter the better. I wouldn't recommend more than a heaped tablespoon of butter, but you keep mixing it through. It will melt through. And in the meantime, I add the cup of milk. It will thicken up. This is a good way just to have it as like a normal mash. As it actually cools down a bit, it will get thicker. But we are putting this on a shepherd's pie, so this is perfect. So we'll give it one last mix when we're adding it on top of our dish. But this is what it looks like when it's completely finished. Next, in I'm using a pot. I go in and I add my mince and my onion. I'm using a medium onion, so I throw it in. And then I throw in the mince. Break it down. I'm using 300 grams of mince. You can use more, less, depending on what you like. The more meaty it is, the better. So I'll brown the meat with the onions, and then we'll go on to the next step. At this stage where we have just a tiny bit of colour, I add a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper to the mix. And then you keep mixing it around until it fully browns off. Now that it's cooked off, just not brown enough, I add 1 red capsicum. You can leave this out, but this will down and be part of the mix. So we do need to brown everything, including the capsicum itself.